Today we talking about OKC. Now OKC has a plethora of young talent, future stars. Josh Giddey broke out as the number 2 star. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander is breaking out into a superstar, and Jalen Williams, J Dub is coming into a nice 3-and-D guy, or a guy that could just come in and produce offense and defense consistently. Shet, we have to see him next year, unfortunately. But the problem is, I don't think this team can compete for play-in or playoff spot. They're not making any noise in the playoffs. They're getting rather a gentleman sweep or a 6-game series, just off of Shea alone. So let's think how the rest of the season goes. They play up until February, and then Sam Presti looks at his roster, looks at his team, looks at the upcoming draft like this. Like how I got the dual monitor. He looking like this. Alright. He's seeing what he could do. Maybe he brings the players into a meeting. He explains the situation and explains to them the potential of Victor Wembanyama. Because I don't really know all the draft prospects, but I know if Sam Presti has a shot, and he does with all them assets and trade picks, if he could get a top 3 pick in the draft, 3, 2, or 1. No, 2 or 3. But if he doesn't get 1, he can ultimately entice the number 1 pick to trade that pick. For all his assets, it will be too much to give up. Unfortunately, maybe the NBA steps in to negate it, but granted, Adam Silver really doesn't care. So there's that. But when you have Shea, Josh, and unfortunately with all those young players, you want them to win young. I think you put Victor, Shet, Jalen, J-Dub, Josh Giddey, and Shea in a lineup for 22 to 23 season, they make the playoffs easily. They're too young to have to be a championship contender. They have the playoff experience, if you call the bubble the playoff experience, but they don't have any real experience. So they get their experience 2023. I think Giddey is due for an extension in 23 or 24. Lou, I think, has already paid his extension. So when you give Josh his extension, you go another 2-3 years. You got 3 of your big players paid. Now, you hopefully win from 2024 to maybe 2027 before you have to throw all that money to Shet and potentially Victor, because you know it's just going to be a ton of money. Shea is in his 30s, so maybe you move on from him in the draft. His value's still high, 32, and you could get like a top 5 pick or a really good point guard, whoever is in the league in 2028 at that time. That is something the Thunder will hopefully have the potential to do, but that's just me. I think if I'm looking at the OKC roster, how I will take the rest of the season, I am not making any noise with this team right now. I don't plan on making any trades for another big star. I got to see how Shet plays out in this system. But if I have a chance to get Victor, I'm going out and getting Victor. I will say give them to February, and then February from April, if they are fighting for a play-in spot, shut it all down. Bring the players into a meeting, shut it all down. Let them lose or let them be competitively bad for 2 months. And then when the lottery comes around April, May, something like that, and be like, oh, okay, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. And if they get Victor, it all pays off. But, if you want to keep Shet for the long run, you're playing basketball to win. But to get Victor, that's what OKC gotta do. Now, like and subscribe. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. See you in the next one.